You're listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast network.
You're listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the most listened to daily Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet. Come on, Dolphins fans. Time to fins up.
All right, Miami! Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. 'Cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins.
Hey everyone, Marisa Marino here with a very special episode of Dolphins Talk. Today we have Frank the Tank from Barstool Sports joining us. Frank, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. Just got back from, I'm doing a ballpark tour, so I'm going to all 30 ballparks this year, and I went to the two in Texas this weekend.
Well, that's awesome. Is that part of the Frank Walks, or is that something just separate that you're doing?
It's closely connected.
Okay, very cool. So you just got back from Texas, and your team played tonight. So you've had a lot going on.
Yeah, well, the Mets are a nightmare.
Any comments on them before we
They're
get?
awful. They're pathetic. They're putrid. They're feeble.
Oh my goodness. Were you weren't at the game, were you?
No, it was in Cleveland tonight.
Oh, okay. It was in Cleveland. Got it. Well, I guess it didn't go so hot, huh?
And it never does. The team literally looks like they're checked out. Everyone's failing. It's incredible.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope the Dolphins do better for you this season.
Well, we got to see if the defense holds up. If the defense holds up and they stay healthy, they should be able to at least win a playoff game. I think that's the bare minimum. If they don't win a playoff game this year, then you got to reconsider everything.
I completely agree. It is definitely playoff or bust this year. I mean, the fact that we are the only team who hasn't had a playoff and the longest drought playoff win is just completely unacceptable.
Yep.
So, well, tell me, so what are you thinking of coming into the 2024 season? Have you had a chance to look at the schedule at all?
A little bit here and there.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw, but on week 2 on Monday night, we're going to be playing the Bills at
Thursday
home.
night.
Yes. We're going to be playing the Bills at home. What do you think of that?
I don't like it. I want to play the Bills under the scorching sun of South Florida when it's so hot that the Bills are wishing they were far away.
I totally agree. I just don't understand how that's happened, this year where they get to get out of doing that again. And it's kind of unfortunate. And I know a lot of fans, it's really upset them that we don't have that upper hand and that advantage.
Well, I would say this though. They play the Bills fairly early, so November 3rd may not be exactly an ice box in Buffalo. You might get lucky and get some 50-degree weather, or maybe upper 40s, where it's not the tundra yet in Buffalo.
I'm hoping so. I know we have to close out our season at the Jets, and I'm assuming that is going to be very frigid at their home stadium.
It's always frigid in New York, even in the summer. I mean, the Jets, by then the Jets will be, if the Jets crash and burn, that team will be so mentally checked out of that game. That would be easy. There'll be more Dolphin fans there than probably half of their games in Miami this year. I mean, Metlife Takeover happens every year, and the Jets find a way to lose every year. So don't be surprised to see the Jets crash and burn again, and your Dolphins just to have a basically Miami home game up in New York, even though it's cold.
Yeah, I mean, Metlife Takeover, I've heard is a real thing. I've never been. I'm assuming you've had a chance to go before?
I go almost every year that they're in. I've gone to almost just about. Yeah, I think I have. I think I've gone to every Dolphin Jet game since 2009,
Oh wow, that's incredible.
except of course the pandemic year. So, but
So I'm
yeah.
assuming that 30-0 game that we had last year was quite an exciting one for you.
Well, that was the game in Miami. The game that they played at the Meadowlands was the Black Friday game. Jaylen Phillips got hurt, and he had
Yes,
the Hail Six.
that's right. Yes, yes, that must have been incredible to see.
Yes.
Very cool. I love that. I haven't been able to get to a Jets game, but I'm sure it's just a whole different ball game with the Jets Dolphins connected.
Yeah, and I gotta say this: the MetLife Stadium is one of the worst in the league. It's just charmless, lifeless, boring. It looks like a giant air conditioner.
Yeah, no, I can imagine, and that turf is not great either.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah, definitely. I know the players hate playing on it. I don't know why they don't just get rid of it and it's not something that's banned, but
Yeah, well, they're gonna get it. They're gonna fix it up nice for the soccer in a couple of years.
well, there you go. That'll be great. So, what are you thinking of Coach Mike McDaniel going into this season? Any thoughts on what you need to see from your head coach?
He needs to put this is no more excuses. Got to win a playoff game. Got to get this team the next step. You got to the playoffs this year, fine. Got playoffs last year, fine. But the injuries took them down this year, but that can't happen next year. Next year, no excuses. Need to go in, win a playoff game. Nothing else. I mean, if you don't do that, then it's time to reassess everything.
Yeah, I completely agree. It is one of those. I don't think that it's hot seat necessarily, but I think we're on like a preheat with him and with a lot of this. And there's been a lot of adjustments, and especially with Fangio out, and we have Anthony Weaver in. What do you think of him and what he brings to this defense?
Fangio is a guy who had a great reputation, but it didn't look like it worked out too much well at the end of the season. I mean, they really got to get it. I guess this guy works better with McDaniel, but they lost a lot of people, and they got to get Phillips and Chubb back, and don't know if they're going to be healthy at the start of the season. That's not a good way to begin to start things off. And completely redid the secondary. We got to see if these guys are good, and if they're not, then it's going to be a long season, and they got to get it done. There's no more excuses. It's put up or shut up. Tua, okay, he didn't get. You had everyone get hurt, and then you had to go out and play in minus 30-degree temperature. Impossible situation.
Absolutely unprecedented. It was crazy. Yeah.
I'm not sure the league should consider. I mean, the next day the Buffalo game got pushed to Monday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But that game was the damn Peacock game, so they weren't going to move it. Secondly, how are they playing a game in Houston in a air-conditioned, climate-controlled dome earlier, and the 8 o'clock at night kickoff in Kansas City, which is absolute ice box where people lost limbs because of freezer bite. I mean, it's awful.
It was so ridiculous. I mean, Antarctica type temperature, sub-freezing. I mean, I don't even know how fans were out there doing it. I don't think you could pay enough money to go do that.
I don't either.
Goodness gracious. So what are you thinking about now, Tua? There's been a lot of talk about Tua coming into this season, especially with, contract negotiations. Any thoughts on Tua and his upcoming contract that they're all trying to negotiate?
Well, Tua's got to give a little. He's I think the Dolphins want to pay him, but they want to be smart about it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to put themselves in the handcuffs that the Giants did for Daniel Jones.
Oh yeah, that is absolutely a rough one. Yeah, I totally agree. Well, I mean, from what I'm hearing, that especially with the Jared Goff contract, that they're definitely. I mean, I think that was an absolutely big thing when that happened. For Tua and, for him to use as leverage. I'm curious to see where the contract will fall with what Jared Goff got.
I think it's gonna eventually fall short of Goff, but I think he's gonna get paid, and I think the Dolphins are really they're gonna be 100% in on Tua.
Yeah.
They're committed to Tua. McDaniel likes Tua. Tua likes McDaniel, and they're basically joined at the hip.
Yep. I completely agree. And I don't, for people who are, there's so many different sports commentators that have stuff to say about him. But I mean, at the end of the day, who could the Dolphins even go out and acquire that would do the job that Tua is doing?
I mean, Kirk Cousins is old, overpaid, and he stinks.
Yes. He does stink. He does stink. Yeah, and they picked up a quarterback in the draft, which was people were quite surprised about with how much money they paid him. So,
I mean, Garoppolo. I mean, well, the Falcons look like they have no clue what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I think Kirk Cousins was a little surprised himself whenever he got the phone call.
I'd say he was. I think half the league was surprised.
Yeah. They definitely were. So do you think you're going to get a chance to, do you ever get down to Miami and make it to a home game?
I try to get to one home game a year at least, the last couple of years.
Okay, cool. I know there's the fan club weekend. I hear that that's a really great time. Have you ever had a chance to participate in that?
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think this year it's going to be for the home game at the Cardinals. The one I'm looking forward to the most, though, is we actually have a home game with the 49ers coming into town. And that should be really interesting. That's 3 days before Christmas, actually.
Yeah, that should be an interesting one. I see they're starting the year with the Jaguars. That's a good battle of Florida.
Yep, they're starting the year. And then we have a Titans matchup, a rematch. I'm surprised. Same game at the Dolphins again. I really hope the outcome is a lot better than that. Was a hard pill to swallow.
That was the one bad loss during the season.
Mm-hmm.
The one truly unexcusable loss.
Yeah. Do you feel like things kind of just like went downhill from there? I mean,
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They lost 3 out of the last 4.
Yeah.
I 3 out of the last 5.
Yeah. I mean, that was rough. And I see how passionate you are too as a Dolphin fan. And it's just like, man, we want this so bad. And it's just, it sucks so much when the team doesn't pull through for you.
Check this out. 1972 Dolphins helmet.
Oh, that's super awesome. Are you a proponent for going back to the old throwbacks?
1000%.
Okay. Wasn't sure how strongly you felt about that.
I hate the logo. The current logo just looks too tepid, too timid. The old logo was just classy, great colors. Everything was perfect.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I guess it's Ross is not hearing our pleas because it's nothing's changing.
I don't understand why he doesn't listen. The merchandise sales would triple.
100% they would. 100%. I don't want that whale logo on my shirt.
Looks more like Aquafresh.
Yeah. That's great. Well, I hope that we get a chance though to see those throwback unis. I don't know when this season they'll pull them out, but when they do, it takes me back, and I'm looking forward to that. I want to talk real quickly. I appreciate you taking the time truly to come on and join me. I do want to talk though about these walks that you're doing. I've been keeping up with them, and they are so cool. I recently saw you did one with the gentleman from Entourage who played Turtle.
Jerry Ferrara.
Yeah. So how is it going? Are you really enjoying it?
Yes, I am. I'm doing walks all the time. I got many great episodes filmed already, and the episodes coming out, and I'm scheduling out more as we go along.
That's amazing. I absolutely love that. Now, how many walks have you do you know, or do you have them counted, how many you've done so far?
It's getting into double digits now. I did one PK Subban recently that hasn't been released. Dwight Gooden, Will Compton. I got one small with Brian Baumgartner. So I got a lot of walks. So really stacking up, and I think we're going to have some really big ones coming up. And the more we do, to see the more people we get that want to do them.
That's awesome. I mean, you get to talk to people and you get to work on your health journey, which has been so cool that all the fans get to follow you along. And by the way, congratulations on the weight loss. It is so amazing to see, and I'm sure you just feel great, and it's so cool to watch you go through this journey.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we look forward to the next episode. When do they come out? Is there a regular
Typically Wednesdays. Tomorrow we'll be coming out with Paul Rabel.
Okay.
Of the lacrosse legend.
Okay, very cool. Do you ever see the chance of maybe having Mets owner Steve Cohen doing a Frank Walks with you?
I like to do it, but he doesn't like me.
Oh, no. We got to well, that's his loss. Well, we wish you the best of luck on the journeys. And just so we know, I mean, I'm sure most people watching know you, but in case they don't, and they're just now learning about your journey and what you're doing, what is your social media handle again? People can find you on?
NJ Tank 99 on the Twitter, NJ Tank 1975 on Instagram, and you can find me at Frank the Tank Fleming on YouTube.
Awesome. Well, that's so cool. I look forward to checking out your next episode, and I hope we get to celebrate some Dolphin wins together and get to have at least a playoff win coming up this season.
Yeah, they did. They need to take a step forward now. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm totally ready. Hopefully, we can reconnect and we can talk about the big wins.
All right, that sounds great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Frank, and I hope you have a great night. And everyone at Dolphins Talk, you have the same, and we'll talk to everybody soon.
All right, thanks again.
Thanks, Frank. Bye.
Bye. Like I said, I'm sorry.